Okay, welcome everybody to the June 1st Ortelius outreach. Go ahead, Tracy, kick us off.
Okay, so we have 25 days before Secure Chain Con, and we have selected. I so Brian and Tony worked to give us a list of the top 10, and then I looked at the top 10 and I selected five to keep on our schedule so we don't have to do anything crazy since it's crazy busy time for me right now. Um, I sent an email out. Let me see if I can pull it up. I had 2 weeks of conferences this last 2 weeks, so it was a little much, to be honest. Where is that email that I sent? Okay, here it is. All right, so it would be, we do from, let's see if I can make this bigger for you guys. I can't make it bigger. You can do it this way. There we go. All right. So from 9 to 9:30, we do our beer and donuts as usual. Then 9:30 to 10 o'clock, John Linford and I have a discussion. Some of it about what they're doing at Open Group, and there's a lot about AI. From 10 to 10:30, we need to have some Ortelius demos. So Steve, I put your name on it, but if somebody else would like to give it a shot, that would be awesome. And then we do our speakers. So we start with Siddharth Jain doing Sense, Reason, Acts Safely. Then we get Przemysław Roguski from Red Hat doing contextual SBOMs. And then Janae and Suresh from Oracle doing deployment-aware SBOMs. And then Fahid Dorga doing post-deployment CVE triage with LLMs, which I thought was a really relevant one. And then finally, Vanessa Toes from Microsoft Cloud doing AI cyber resiliency for Microsoft Cloud data. And then that gives us about 15 minutes of padding to be done by noon. And if I need to, I'll do a closing. The ones in bold will be recorded, and everything above here will be live.
So John's going to do his live.
John will do it live. Yeah, we're going to do an interview kind of format live, so anybody who
Okay.
wants can ask questions.
Okay, kind of like
And
what we did with the guy from Google last year.
yes, exactly.
Cool.
And then the demo will be live too. Any concerns, updates, or changes? They are 15-minute talks, but that's why I've given us an extra 15 minutes of padding at the end if somebody wants to do a 20-minute. So I think what I'm going to do is ask them to do 15 to 20-minute talks, and we'll go from we'll go from there.
It looks good.
It's interesting that they're all big companies. Did we have any small companies come through?
We did. Some of it we couldn't tell if it was spam, and I think that Tony and Brian were spun on to bring in some higher net level names to get more bring us kind of elevate Secure Chain Con.
Yep, just curious
We
if
Yeah, yeah, there were some small companies that came that.
There were, but as Tracy, as you said, some of them was really hard to tell what they were actually talking about.
yeah,
It
yeah, I
was,
totally get that.
yeah, and they weren't in the areas that we had asked for. So I don't, did I put it down here? I thought I put down. There were like five topic areas that we had asked for,
Yeah.
and some of them, I could tell it was going to be a product demo. Okay, well, if we all approve of that, when we get off the phone, I will work on notifying these five people that they were selected and send out notifications to the rest saying thank you. And we'd always love a blog on your topic. I think that is all we need to do for this. The only thing that we have really as an open question is the demos. So, if you think a demo is, we could do two 10-minute demos in that time slot, or even three. I would like to announce that Jing uh, was announced to be the Ortelius top contributor for 2020, 2026, 2025, 2026. So even though she's not here, she's on vacation. I am so happy that we were able to work with Jing to bring her from someone who had really never contributed to open source to a superstar in our project. And I think that she's worked really hard. And I want to thank everybody for, supporting her journey along the way. And because I know that all of you have contributed to her work and encouraged her. I'm hoping that we can find other women that we can highlight as well. Anne Marie Fred, she got top
Documenter.
documenter for her work that she did on the CI/CD cybersecurity guide. And for those of you who worked on this CDCon, we kicked ass at Open Source Summit. We really did. At one point, I was told by some of the Linux Foundation people that their channel was blowing up saying, somebody get to the CDCon room because they have no place to sit and there's a line to get in. And that's
Wow.
an Open Source Summit. So there's a lot of, because they have tons of talks going on during Open Source Summit. They probably have 6 rooms maybe that you could go to, or maybe even more. You can go to sessions. So for the CDCon to, have a line, it was great. It really was. So my premise in putting together CDCon was that CI/CD has evolved. It's kind of gotten long on the tooth, and there are kind of 4 things or 3 things that are impacting it: AI, security, and platform engineering. And we did talks in the morning. The first day we did project talks. The second the second half of that, the first day we did all AI. The room was really packed during AI. We had a bunch of people show up who were platform engineers that didn't come for CityCon, but they came because it was a half day of platform engineering sessions. There was an interesting comment too during that, and I don't wish I'd have written it down. Uh, Backstage, and Sasha, I'd like to get your opinion on this. Backstage is not being used by platform engineers that much anymore, over other
No,
tooling and other ways to do things. Is
it's
that
too much
correct?
overhead. It's too much overhead.
Really?
You have to know React like backwards. You have to be like a pro React developer just to build any plugins and stuff for it, right? So it solves Spotify's problem, but it might not solve your problem, right? Like for me, I wouldn't use it. I'm quite comfortable with the CLI. Just give me a CLI and a backend orchestrator, it's fine.
Yeah,
So
So
it
if you're
depends
trying
what,
to scale, if you're trying to build like a kind of golden pass for organizations, like Bank of America,
yeah,
or
yeah.
what options are there?
Terraform.
Yeah, there's Terraform. You can build I'm busy with my architect course or platform engineering, and we're just building a CLI with fast API to interact with the platform. That's it. And the guardrails, it's quite simple. And the guardrails are like your open policy agent and that type of thing, right? And your security tooling. It's been
Yeah.
overcomplicated, I think, a lot of the time. And if developers are very fine, are more than fine with most of it's for developer anybody who's developing, right? So most of them are very comfortable with the CLI and actually feel more comfortable with it, right?
Yeah, I
So it's
remember
just
at
yeah,
Los Alamos, they were just going to have them do a YAML file
yeah. So you could
of
use
what they
score.
wanted.
Yeah. You use score to define the resources you want, which is a tiny little bit of YAML like this,
Yeah,
right? Interacts with the platform orchestrator. And then if you need anything more than that, you can just use the CLI, and that's it. And then
You know,
they've been baking in. We were taught by the guy from ThoughtWorks, and I'll send you the 2 guys we were taught by, and it was like very interesting to see. Like, wow, you don't need all that eye candy, and unless you can do it further down the line, but in the beginning you don't need that. Yeah,
I
well, I know that
remember discussions like this 20 years ago when I said, the question isn't how many people it takes to support one system. It's how many systems one engineer can support.
Yeah, it's so
And
true.
Yeah,
using the right tools, things like CLI, scripting tools,
Yeah,
YAML, that sort of thing, where you
yeah,
extend an engineer. And honestly, in AI, we need to be even leveraging AI to say, how am I doing this with fewer, smarter people, not throw more hands at it?
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And Spotify's what's it? Their GUI that they use for platform engineering is great, but it's really heavy, right? You need to be full on React developers, and if you've got that, and you need those people to be dedicated to building that thing and maintaining it. That's the problem. It's really heavy. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
And
well, now I
it's
know.
for almost
yeah,
everybody, that's the wrong answer, is the thing.
exactly. Because people are starting at the wrong end. They're starting at the pretty side. You're not supposed to start there. You need to start at the back end, the API side, because that's where you're going to be interacting.
Yeah,
You don't need the eye candy or the sweet shop yet.
Well, and there's a debate on whether like MCP agents or MCP servers and some of the agentic agents are going to be the new replacement for REST APIs.
Sure, I hope not, because those AI companies are going to make even more money off us because they're just burning our tokens to death with those
yeah.
MCPs.
Yeah,
I use MCP as my last resort. My first resort is CLI and API. If you have that, great, then I don't bother with MCP. If you only have an API, then I'm stuck with your MCP or I find someone else.
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
the idea behind the MCP is to simplify the inputs and outputs,
yeah,
instead
yeah,
of getting overly complicated in all
yeah,
the
yeah, exactly,
authentication
Steve.
and tokens and stuff
Totally.
like that.
Yeah,
Well,
totally.
Sasha, when you get around to rewriting your Raspberry Pi blogs, it would be
Yeah.
great if you would mention some of that, some of those insights about
Well,
using
I'm gonna
the
write
eye
that
candy.
AI blog for you. I'm gonna write that AI blog for you, and it'll be in there because
Okay,
Okay,
perfect.
cool.
I'm busy automating the entire Pollinate FinOp and all their repos, everything automated with AI, and I've learned so much about AI. And these big AI companies are pushing marketing like you don't need humans, and it's total rubbish.
It's such
AI is an
rubbish.
AI is an airhead. It knows zero. And you have to treat it like an employee with like an airhead, right? It knows zero about you, about your company, about your policies, about your inner workings. It knows nothing. You have to fill that stuff all in for it, right?
So our
Um,
keynote at CDCon was a woman
yeah,
by the name of Jennifer Mulford from Okta.
yeah,
And
yeah,
she did a really, because she talked about platform engineering, CI/CD, and AI and
yeah.
security. She had it all. And
Oh,
she
wow.
did a whole talk about how when you bring in AI, you're bringing in an apprentice to a construction site and you're handing them the keys to the crane.
Yeah,
And I
you're
thought
giving them
that was
everything,
a,
the axe, the drill, the
yeah,
hammer, the whip.
everything. Yeah.
And you're just
I
like,
thought it
off
was
you
just,
go. Off you
yeah.
go.
And no experience.
And
No
no experience.
experience, yeah.
They're an apprentice. I
Yeah,
was
because they
at
have, yeah, exactly. No experience. Yeah, yeah. Sorry,
I was at a
Tracy.
conference in Albuquerque, and there was a brigadier general there. And
Yeah.
I asked him about AI, and he said in the questions, and he said, "Well, we wanted to automate. We want to scale. We want to be able to have multiple people defending space. And right now, we're limited on the number of operators who have that skill level." And I was just like, oh, I kind of moaned inside. And so then I stood in line to
Yeah.
talk to him and I said, you know what? There is no way in the world that you're going to be able to build a secure AI platform to do that. It's
No ways.
impossible. I was like,
Train
just,
people.
yeah, it was like, there's no way that it's ready for that yet. And he was like, okay, I get the message received, but he did give me his card. I'm going to follow up with him.
I'm telling you,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
AI cannot think creatively or
Be
sort of
careful on
laterally.
making those
Yeah.
conclusions, guys.
Yeah.
Well, I
Maybe
think that
AI can't be creative today.
today,
We need to ask
today,
Yeah,
how
today.
we training
Yeah,
to do what we need, and how that general
yeah,
who
Yeah,
cannot recruit and develop people as fast as he needs,
yeah, it's
how
true.
does he
but
say
the
which tasks can I get the AI to take on or to support?
Yeah,
which task can
exactly.
we trust the apprentice with? That's what I told the when I spoke to
Yeah.
him. And I
Yeah, yeah,
said
that's
the other
true.
thing is that when you're talking about this level of data, this kind of data, you need domain expertise, and you're not going to get domain expertise from ChatGPT
You
because
still need
most
the
of it's
human.
behind the wall. Most of it's
Yeah,
classified.
Well,
And
you
the
still need
amount
the
of money
human.
they have,
Mm,
you'd think that they could build their own small language model that would be very specific to what they need to do. And they have plenty of
exactly.
processing power, and they have the infrastructure to do it.
yeah, I
So
mean,
Yeah,
that's the other key point is people tend to forget that AI lives outside the wall somewhere.
yeah,
yeah,
it does.
For a lot
I
of
s-
things, that's not an answer. Listen, before we get too far stuck in this, I do have one other topic I wanted to mention, and I'm going to have to go at the top of the hour. Have you guys heard of the IBM Red Hat Project Lightwell?
I haven't
no
heard of it. No.
What was the name of the project?
Lake well.
The link's in the chat.
I may have.
It was just announced a few days ago. There's supposed to be a 5 billion with a B dollar commitment to open source security.
Oh
Ooh,
yes, I did.
Cool.
I did see that announcement come through from IBM last week.
Yeah, and Red Hat's
5 billion.
prominent in it. We don't really have lots of connections to IBM, but we certainly do to Red Hat.
yeah,
Tell them if they send, say, 10% of that money to you, Tracy, you can
yeah.
probably do
No
something
kidding.
with it.
I'll let me do some digging on this.
Because some of what they're talking about wanting to build, I think Ortelius is built.
Yeah, I'm sure Anne Marie Fred or um, what's her name? Zadia would know.
Well, all I'm saying is I think it'd be time to pull on a few threads and see if there's some means to get involved.
Okay, I will. Tony, I will. I promise you, I will. This is a really good one. You always send good stuff our way. I will
I
definitely dig
try.
into this one, no
Hey,
doubt.
are you making any progress with Garrett and HDF Group?
Yes, we are. I think Steve's got them on their calendar. We're going to start working on getting their S bombs, and I think Steve has found a way to do that.
Okay, because they've got so many interesting customers. If they started seeing Ortelius, what this outfit is, Sasha and Arvind, is another group I'm on their board.
Mm-hmm.
And Tracy and Steve have been working with them on a proposal. And if we can go, I don't know, Steve, you want to describe where you're at with that? Steve's got dogs to go talk to,
Yes, for some reason the dogs
or
just
who are
decided to
talking
start
to the
barking.
local coyote pack or something.
Yes, it is. They are. Oh no, we have
Seems
our
like
somebody just drove up.
seems like the
So
dog also hates
basically, the
AI.
idea is if all these customers that are consuming this software suddenly started seeing the word Ortelius tied to it,
Yeah.
they might start saying, well, maybe we should get that in here.
Right.
Yeah, it's true.
And then they could write large checks to Deploy Hub.
I'm writing all this down.
Write down the large checks part.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's good stuff, Tony.
it is. I'll take some time this week and go through it and reach out to Vincent Dannon about it. Um, I have a hard stop in 8 minutes as well, but we have submitted our application to OpenSSF to move Ortelius over, and it looks like there has not been any rejections to it as of yet. So we'll
Oh,
see how
that's
that
good.
goes. So that is in progress. The chairperson of the vulnerability disclosures agreed to support us in that. And since I'm on the TOC, I was able to. So we got our 2 top people that is needed to get it approved. So we're just kind of now in the wait and see mode, but it should not take that long for that wait and see mode to happen. And I think that's it. Biggest thing for me is I got to get the secure chain con done in the next 2 or 3 days. I need to get those announcements out.
Okay,
Cool.
good deal.
Thanks, guys.
See everybody soon. I will not be
Yep,
on the
we have-
Thursday architecture call.
And we have 1 more month for blog, so try to get a blog if you haven't already. Thank you for those of you who have done. So.
Mine's taking form. It's just taken a while because I'm going to write the AI one.
It's got the concepts of
And
the
our-
blog.
And Arvin,
Yeah.
blogs of any kind are great. We'd love to have a blog from you.
Yeah, I will try to write one.
You know,
Okay.
Arvin, a really natural blog for you would be, how did open source participation help you in your career?
That would be an amazing blog, Arvin.
That would be an amazing
Yeah.
blog.
Yeah.
I will write it.
That would be a great blog. I'd love to read that blog.
Well, you can forget your career, but
All right,
Yeah, I'll
guys.
just
We will see you.
Camp on Tony's lawn.
yeah.
Cheers, guys.
See you probably Thursday.
Yeah, okay, bye.